Welcome Diecast fans, I'm Tom Spinners Watson.
And I'm Frank the Guru Gibbs.
And it's time for another DSPN report. Let's get straight into it. First up in the news, another mention for the DIRS 2021 season. We have the driver call open over at chaoscanyon.online. Have a look in the forum section, everything you need is there. Also, out this week, the new Diecast Racing report. Head over to diecastracing.com for more information. And over on What Game Now on YouTube, they did a great interview with Superman Stephen King.
Now, Widowmaker Run has done this amazing paint job with these inks. Go over to his channel, check it out. He's got a tutorial there, shows you what to do. And this is the last week to get your Slanman Customs 3D printed track accessories with the 10% off. Eric has got so many cool products. He's got the latest 45-degree crash racer corner, twin lane, triple lane, start gates, finish gates, timers, and if he doesn't have what you want, he can probably make it. Check it out, link in the description.
Now, straight into the drag racing, we've got Mr. Mom's Racing first up, and this combi van versus the Mustang was just epic. That combi smashed the Mustang. It was awesome. I mean, it's certainly not something you'd see in normal life. You're not going to find many combis that can drag off a Mustang by quite that sort of distance, but a lot of fun to watch.
Then MNM Racing League did an outdoor drag race this time, and it was awesome. I mean, nothing like getting outdoors in the dark. And look at this absolute carnage going across the finish line here. It is so ridiculously close. I don't think I've seen a race that close on their track before. It was mayhem. Awesome.
And speaking of mayhem, Rust Belt Racing held the Swiss Cheese Cars Special Invitational Race. Now, all of these cars had to be lightened in weight by drilling holes in the body, and it was just awesome and some wickedly close racing. Head over to Rust Belt Racing, check that one out.
Cleveland City Diecast Racing had their one and done drag race, and again, this is such a fast track, lots of camera coverage to check these angles, and look at this car just storms away with it. It's a great race.
BlueLine Racing had a challenge match between themselves and Scale Racing Channel, running similar cars or same cars, and check out how close this race was. That is ridiculous. And switch lanes on those particular F-150s, and it gets even closer again. Just brilliant racing. Head over to Blue Line, check that one out.
Then Redfield Racing did a full 300ZX racing series. It was live streamed, so the video's a little bit choppy, but well worth a watch if you enjoy that sort of thing.
GNR Racing, more drag racing over at his channel, and these were just some beautiful classics. Awesome castings, and look how close some of these races are. This one here, the red car edges out in front, but the yellow catches up and just misses out in that particular race.
Then Diecast Draggor had his King challenge, so this was challenging the current King, and man, this racing was close. And the other thing with his channel is he's now got a second commentator, which is really cool. Head on over and check out that.
WeRaceDiecast are up next, continuing on with their King of the 621, and this race was impressive. Look how straight these cars stay on this track, apart from the art cut that goes completely off track there, but really cool, and we're looking forward to having them in the DIRS later on next year.
Sonora Diecast Racing League, always one for a bit of a fun show, and this race was no exception. Now, for some reason, Batman and Robin drop in and stand in the middle of the track, and Batman just gets nailed from behind here. Didn't see that coming at all. Look at that, absolutely cleaned out. Somehow Robin managed to survive, but a lot of fun racing over on that channel. Always fun to watch.
Mac Mountain or Low Country Diecast had a new track, so this is their Boomtown track, 4-lane drag strip with a difference. That little hump throws that green car across into the other lane and then he crashes anyway. It was crazy. I'm looking forward to seeing more of that.
Then Wallside Diecast had this incredibly close race between the Midnight Auto and that Jeep there. But that Jeep just goes completely mental and goes off track. Brutal.
Simpson Diecast did something really cool. They did monster truck 3-wide drag races. You just don't see that very often. It was very cool to watch. And surprisingly, there was nowhere near as much carnage as I was actually expecting. There was some really good racing.
And then finally in drag racing, Main Street Racers did a Matchbox versus Hot Wheels, and this time it was the Bugatti Veyron. And man, this was close. Look at this as they come across the line there. That was just one of the races. Incredibly close, lots of fun.
Heading over to tournaments, we kick off with RTR and his Truck Series. Now this particular race, that Lightning takes off from the front, but look at the change in positions between second, third and fourth here. It's just a beautiful overtake by that white truck to cut in to take out third. It's a very impressive bit of driving.
And then 3D Botmaker kicked off his Fast and Famous tournament. So this is all movie cars. And this particular race here, you got Kit pushing James Bond wide and then storms off to the finish. But if that wasn't enough, to add insult to injury, he actually ends up off the track. And if you look at it from this other angle, you find out what happened. He gets nailed by the other two competitors and pushed right off the track, which I think is a bit rude, but hilarious to watch.
Then it was time for Trax Diecast League Season 3 and their Tomika drag race event. Some very tight racing there as Season 3 is coming almost to a close.
Then we head over to Transport Diecast for the continuation of the Miatas at the Crest. This race was really close and just some great almost overtakes as you watch the dark and blue car in the background trying to overtake. Expect to see lots of that sort of racing in the DIRS 2021. And of course we kick off at Transport Diecast, so have your cars over there by the 5th of January next year.
Then we head over to Cleveland City Diecast, and he's doing this awesome NASCAR type series on his other track. And man, there was just some carnage on that racing. It was awesome.
War on I-4 is doing his big endurance series. So at the moment it's time trials, and this was just one of them. You see this AMG Mercedes blaze down the track as all the drivers are vying for top positions to get in the best spot they can for the whole tournament. Have a look at his channel, well worth the watch.
Nines Diecast continued on with his 9-pack tournament, and these three cars, check out the finish in this. They come in absolutely nose to tail. It was so close.
Now, Meal Ticket Raceway is another one that we really like. This absolute monster of a track is one to really test how good your car is. All of these cars are so close at this point, but the longer the track goes, this is where you really start to see how good your car is. And look at this Camaro, just starting to pull away from the pack here. Gets caught up a bit, but then as it continues on, he starts to gain momentum. A couple of guys get a bit caught up. That who was in second there gets flipped off the track, and then this Camaro is all of a sudden way out in front. But look at this. Check out this overtake maneuver, not only from first place winner, but second snakes and right at the finish as well.
That was awesome. And heading over to Hot Wheels Calgary, they continued on with their daily races. So if you're looking for a fix of racing, absolutely check out Hot Wheels Calgary. And also they've got their Birdco 1000. So the cars are rolling in. Check out the details over on Redline Derby for that.
Hawkeye Hollow Diecast was running a bit of a different tournament this time. So just massive number of cars, and this is how it's meant to run. Side by side down, they run the same distance, and then here, this is when it goes wrong. So you see that guy gets flipped out of the track, and the other guy gets his wheel up on the side and he slams into the side of the track, goes over.
Then Poverty Hollow doing their 80s classics cars, and the buggy in the back here just does such a good job to keep up. Almost caught him right at the end there. A little bit longer track, he might have even done it.
Now we head over to street racing, and we kick off with the Outlaws at the Canyon. Now we had some challenges in this time. This one was a Skyline, so we had a bunch of tuners show up. Now this is me and Jade Monkey here out in front, but look at this Skyline. It does a massive jump here, and it's right on my tail, but as always, doesn't matter how fast you are, you've got to stay shiny side up if you're going to win.
Then moving to Hot Car Track and the continuation of the Road Warriors series. So this is really coming to a climax. We've got a couple of races left, but we just wanted to show you this one here between Redline Salvage Inc. and Fractal Panda. Fractal Panda coming in hot here, almost gets the overtake, pulls wide, but unfortunately hits that outside barrier a little bit too hard, slows him down. But lots of good racing there. Check out that series if you haven't seen it yet.
And then DRC Yard Race is moving into their finalists now, and this particular race, we've never seen a car crash quite like that. Hits the outside barrier, gets flipped into the inside lane, and then just ends up blocking the track. But it's such a cool track. I really have enjoyed this series. They've done a great job theming that whole track, and it's been a lot of fun to watch.
Now, moving into special events, kick off with Diecast RacerX in the Mountain Rally Championship. So we just got this one here of this Jeep. Now this track is really fast, and I was totally expecting this Jeep to just bail in these corners, especially through some of the chicanes, but it handles it really well. A little bit slower than some of the other cars, but still very, very fast overall. And again, it's another channel with like daily races. Check that one out.
Then Checkered Flag Contention did this awesome mower wars, and this one here, this is the first guy just slams into one of the billboards at the top of the track, and the other guy zooms off to the bottom before bouncing around quite violently. But so much fun in that one. And then Frank's Custom Corner was our Maverick, which is part of the Diecast Racing Report's 8 modders competition. So we took that Maverick Custom and made it into a full-on custom. If you want to check that out, have a look at the video, it's on our channel. And then Sharon Tarshish, one of the Canyon Outlaws, built this amazing Hell Camino. I mean, look at that. That was what he started with, and that's what he took it to. It's absolutely beautiful. And if you haven't seen his Demolition Derby Escort as well, have a look at that one. A fantastic video. Lots of cool stuff there.
Now on Track Spy, we've got a little bit on. First up, huge shout out to Flat Rabbit Racing Club for the behind the scenes. So they've changed the layout of their track, and gotta love Track Kitty, just helping the destroy the buildings. But he shows you lots of cool tips and lots of behind the scenes stuff. Check that one out. Then the Amigos are back finally with a whole new track. This was a bit of a surprise to us this week. We just love this new layout. It's very, very cool. Lots going on and lots of potential for action and last minute overtakes. Then we've got Raceway Construction. So really sorry, we missed this one a couple of weeks ago. They posted in the forum on Redline. Totally our fault. It was in the middle of something that was happening. We missed it, so sorry about that. And another one was Bay City Speedway. So this one is themed out like San Francisco, and we love this. This is really cool. They've got the Golden Gate Bridge heading over to Sausalito. It's very cool. Great work, guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing lots more racing on your channel. Check those ones out. All the links will be in the description. That's enough for this week. It's been another monster one. Thanks very much to Redline Derby Racing. Head over to redlinederby.com. Get all your racing information over there. And of course, don't forget the DIRS 2021 season. All the details are over on chaoscanyon.online. There is an open driver call. You've got plenty of time to get a modified car in. Check out all the rules. There is a $10 entry fee, but it's going to be massive. And speaking of driver calls, we also have an open call for the Canyon Outlaws. Check that out while you're there. That's enough for this week. I'm Tom Spanners Watson. He's Frank the Guru Gibbs. We'll see you next time.